Hello financial fans. This video will be a bit longer than my usual videos here, and the reason being I want to talk about the Wall Street terms, terminology and the numbers and the things that you see when you go to a site such as Yahoo Finance and you try to analyze a stock. There's a lot of information there. Some of it's pretty important and some of it is not quite as important, and we're going to begin by taking a look at a Yahoo page here for Intel Corporation, and all these numbers that we see are as of the closing on Friday, April 23rd of 2021, and we'll begin with the upper left hand corner Intel Corporation, it says, and then in parentheses it has INTC. That's the symbol. Look up INTC and you'll find information on Intel, and every stock on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange has a symbol, several letters, and that helps you find the stock more quickly, and we find that it has closed at $59.24, big numbers there, and it was down over 5%. Intel is an interesting stock. I've owned it several times, and quite often it has disappointing earnings reports and the stock sinks down like it did here. And I'm looking for what's known as a dead cat bounce. A dead cat bounce is when a stock gets oversold because of disappointing news of some sort, and it goes down as Intel did here, over 5%. And what I'll do is watch Monday, probably Tuesday, I might get back into Intel if it goes down a little bit more, because I think it's been oversold, and I'll look for the dead cat bounce, and I might sell it as soon as I have a profit after it goes back up a little bit, or I might keep it for a year or two because it has a reasonably good dividend yield. Now we see the column on the left, the first column, 2/3 of the way down, 52-week range, $43.61, and the high was $68.49, and it's sort of right in the middle there right now at $59.24. And going down a little further on that column on the left, the average volume 31,804,000 shares, and above that we see the volume for that day, Friday, 77 million, so it more than doubled what it does on an average day. That means people were getting excited, and some people were selling at a loss, and that will be someone else's gain. And also in that column we see the previous close, the open price for the stock, the bid and the ask. I never pay attention to the bid and the ask. The days range, this particular day's range, $57.90 to $60, looks like a typical day, but nonetheless, the important numbers in the left-hand column for me is the average volume. I want a stock that stays busy and sells more than 1 million shares per day. And down near the bottom, on the Yahoo page, down at the bottom of that first column says near fair value. They think it's priced right where it should be at this time. That's expert opinion. Now the middle column, third item down, PE ratio 13.29. I look for 10 or less if possible, and that's pretty close to it, especially for a stock like Intel to be selling at a PE ratio of 13.29. I would expect Intel to have a higher PE ratio, which also encourages me to be buying back into Intel soon, probably in the coming week. Earnings per share, $4.46. That's a good earnings number for a stock that's about $60. And the forward dividend and yield, 2.35%. Now if the stock goes down a little bit further, that 2.35% will go up, even though the amount paid out stays at $1.39. $1.39 would be a higher percentage of a lower stock price than $59.24. So if the stock drops down, say to $55, the forward dividend yield, that might go up to 3%. I haven't figured it out or anything. I'm just saying that as the stock price goes down and they keep paying the same amount of money, the percentage that money is of the stock price increases. At the bottom of that middle column, 1-year target 66.26. That'd be pretty good gain from the 59.24 if Intel happens to do that in 1 year, and I would guess that it very possibly will do it. Let's move on to the next stock, General Motors. We've heard of General Motors. GM is the symbol. $57.53. It was up 1.5% on Friday and closed at $57.53. 2/3 of the way down, first column on the left, 52-week range, $20.12. Look at that. Sometime in the past year, someone could have bought GM for $20.12 and realized more than doubling at $57.53, the current price. So the 52-week range, the stock did get as high as $63.44. That means there's some people holding on to General Motors stock that paid $63.44 for it, and they're going to have a tendency to hang on and sell it for profit, so they're going to be holding on. There's going to be a lot of people holding on to General Motors stock, which means it's less likely to be going down in the near future just because there's so many people who are holding on to it. It could go down depending on what news comes along. By the way, under the words General Motors Company up there in the upper left hand corner, we see NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, so I like NYSE stocks. Near the bottom of the first column on the left, overvalued is what the experts say, which means the price should be lower than what it is right now. Now the average volume of 21,800,000 shares, that's a good amount of stock trading going on every day for General Motors, especially the stock that's priced at $57. It's pretty high, and you multiply that times 22 million and you see that there's some real money changing hands. Middle column, third item down, PE ratio $13 or 13.29, and that is a very good PE ratio, especially for a big company like General Motors. They've actually had earnings per share $4.33. That's really good for a company that makes automobiles. And the forward dividend and yield not applicable because they don't pay a dividend. And the 1-year target estimate near the bottom of the middle column, $67.19. So there again is a stock that would probably look nice in someone's portfolio. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you to buy or sell any stocks. I'm just showing you how I analyze a stock, what the numbers mean, what the words mean, and what the symbols mean, and so on. And we will continue here with Arch Capital Group Limited, which is ACGL, and we see that's on NASDAQ, and the closing price couldn't quite get up to $40, got to $39.99, and the 52-week range, $20.93 to $40.67, so it's very close to the 52-week high. The average volume, 2,686,000 shares, and it's considered to be undervalued. Look down there at the bottom of that left-hand column. Undervalued. That means if you buy it, you'll probably get a surprise as it goes upward. It's probably worth more than what it's selling for right now. And that's according to the experts who have been quoted here at Yahoo. And the PE ratio, third item down, middle column, 12.05. I like that. That's very close to 10. Forward dividend and yield, not applicable. They did have earnings per share, $3.32 per share, but they're not paying a dividend. 1 year target, they say $46.60. That would be a nice move up, but it might actually surprise us and go even higher. We shall see, and we'll go to the next stock, which is Citizens Financial Group Incorporated. CFG is the symbol. $44.93 was the closing price on Friday, up 4% for that particular day. And so something is happening. They had some sort of surprise that pushed the stock upward a lot. And 52-week range, 2/3 of the way down, first column on the left, $18.20. So this stock has more than doubled during the past 52 weeks, $18.20 to $47.56. So it's very near to the high of the past 52 weeks. Average volume, over 5.5 million shares trade every day, so that's nice. And the experts think it is overvalued. We shall see. Third item down, middle column. PE ratio 12.61. I like that. That's pretty close to 10. Earnings per share $3.56. $3.56 on a stock that costs less than $50. That's very good income in earnings per share. And the forward dividend and yield 3.47% is what it's yielding at today's price. Now look at that amount, $1.56. Forward dividend and yield is $1.56 is what the shareholder will get for each share every year. And at $1.56, that's more than covered with the earnings per share of $3.56. So we look at some of these numbers and nose around. This company's doing pretty good. Citizens Financial Group looks like they know what they're doing. 1 year target estimate, $50.47. That's a big move upward. Something to consider there. Next stock, Key Corporation, KEY is the symbol. NYSE is the stock exchange. $20.77 is the closing price on Friday, and that was up almost 4% on Friday, so it had a good day. The 52-week range, $9 and a nickel. Again, over the past 52 weeks, the stock has more than doubled, and the high for the 52 weeks, $21.81. So it's near the high. The average volume, about 9.5 million shares, and at the bottom of that first column we see that it is considered to be overvalued. The PE ratio, 11.75, I like that. The forward dividend and yield, 3.56, 3.5%, and it only needs 74 cents per share per year to get 3.56%, and it's more than making that with earnings per share of $1.77. Let's take a look at the beta. The beta is up there, the second item down the middle column, beta. 1.55, 1.5. And what that sort of means, I don't put a lot of stock into the beta. It's hard to really pick a number for the beta, but generally speaking, when the market goes up 1%, this stock will go up 1.5%. When the market goes down 1%, this stock will go down 1.5%. It's more fluid, it's more active, it's bouncing around more than the market in general. But if the market is going up, having a beta that's above 1 is a good thing. If the market is going down, having a beta that's more than one is a bad thing. Anyway, 1-year target, $22.32. Hey, that's actually a good move up. Now we look at SPY. That's the S&P 500 exchange traded fund. It is an exchange traded fund that trades lots of stocks, 500 stocks. And we'll look at the year-to-date total return, more than halfway down the middle column. 11.76 is returned so far. And the average volume, 84 million shares. So perhaps an exchange traded fund with lots of stocks in it would be something that you might like. And we move on to the next company, State Street Corporation, STT, the symbol, $81.11 at close, is up 3% on Friday, so it's doing well also like some of these other stocks. The 52-week range, $51.21 to $87.89. It's closer to the high, but it still has lots of headroom, which means it is likely to be going up. It just is, and the average volume, about 3 million shares trade every day, near fair value. The beta is 1.62, which means when the market's going up, this one's when the market goes up 1%, this one will go up 1.62%. When the market goes down 1%, this will go down 1.62%, possibly. It's beta is it's really hard to pin it down as to what it really is, but it's if you checked out everything else and can't figure out what to make up your mind to do, you might look at the beta and see if that leads you in a direction. PE ratio, 13.36. That's not too far above 10, which is the number I'm always looking for. Forward dividend and yield, 2.56, 2.5%, and that's $2.08 it takes to get to 2.5%. And the earnings per share, $6.07. State Street Corporation appears to be in very good shape. The 1-year target, $91.44, real big move up. So this is the kind of thing you want to look for if and when you decide you're wanting to get into a market situation. There are other things to buy before you buy stocks. Buy a house, buy the tools of your trade, and make sure you're stable. Here's Vodafone. VOD is the symbol, $18.69 is what it closed at on Friday. It was up, but not by very much. 52-week range, $13.14 to $19.45. And the average volume, 3.5 million shares trade every day. The beta, it moves with less volatility than the market as a whole, 0.86 instead of 1. The PE ratio, 18-15, higher than I like, but it's not terrible. And it had earnings per share of $1.03, but it's paying out $1.08 on dividend yield to get a 5.76. That's a high dividend. And they probably have cash on hand. I have not looked this up to see, but it's probably not hurting them to pay the dividend yield of $1.08. And the 1-year target, $24.18, which would be a big move up. So again, VOD looks good. Next we look at Regions. Regions is a banking stock. They have Regions banks here in Tennessee, and I don't remember seeing any in California. $20.63, the closing price for Friday, and it was up a good amount, over 1.5%. And the 52-week range, $8.41. So here's another stock that's more than doubled in the past 52 weeks, and $22.61 was the high. And The average volume, a little over 9 million shares trade every day. It's near fair value. And the beta, about 1.5 times as active as the market as a whole. PE ratio 20.03, and banks do have a tendency to have PE ratios north of 20. Forward dividend yield 3%. 62 cents is what they give out for each stock, and the earnings per share $1.03 easily covers that. The 1-year target $22.56, which is a good move up. And that is all that we have for this time, and I thank you very much for watching. And study the market for at least a year before you get in, and do be careful. Thank you very much for watching.